Clint Eastwood is a living legend. At 94 years old, he remains one of Hollywood's most iconic figures, a man of few words, sharp eyes, and an unmatched legacy in film. From the good, the bad, and the ugly to $1 Million Baby, he's crafted a career that spans decades, shaping the very DNA of American cinema. But there's one story he's kept quiet about for years: his real thoughts on Gene Hackman. These two Hollywood titans cross paths in one of the most powerful films of the 1990s, Unforgiven. While fans always sensed there was a kind of magic in their on-screen chemistry, many wondered, what was going on behind the scenes? Were they friends, rivals, strangers? Now, after years of silence, Clint Eastwood is finally breaking his silence about his experience working with Hackman, and what he revealed is both surprising and deeply personal. Two titans. One seed. In 1992, Clint Eastwood directed and starred in Unforgiven, a dark and gritty Western that broke all the usual cowboy rules. No white hats, no clean endings, just raw, human emotion. To match the film's gravity, Clint knew he needed someone who could go toe-to-toe with him on screen. Enter Gene Hackman, cast as the brutal sheriff Little Bill. Hackman's performance was unforgettable, intense, commanding, and so believable it left audiences stunned. But according to Clint, the performance didn't come without challenges. He's not an easy guy, Eastwood admitted. He's intense, he's demanding, he wants things just right. But you know what? So do I. Their shared perfectionism made for a complicated dynamic, equal parts respect and quiet tension. Respect forged in fire. Clint now reveals that there were moments on set where things got heated, not in a dramatic, Hollywood-style blow-up, but in a more subtle, charged way. Gene didn't suffer fools, Clint said. He'd call you out if something wasn't working. He wasn't there to play nice, he was there to make something real. And that's exactly what they did. Unforgiven went on to win 4 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Supporting Actor for Hackman. It was a turning point in both their careers, Clint as a serious director, Gene as a dramatic heavyweight. But even with the accolades, Clint says the true reward was something else entirely: the bond that was forged between two very different men. We didn't hang out. We didn't need to, Eastwood said. We understood each other in the work. That was enough. A different kind of friendship, and like many Hollywood pairs who become lifelong buddies, Clint and Gene didn't have that kind of relationship. There were no fishing trips, no long phone calls, no photo ops. But Eastwood insists that what they shared was something deeper: mutual respect without the need for constant validation. In this town, a lot of people talk a good game, Clint said. Gene didn't. He just showed up and did the work better than almost anyone. Now, looking back from the quiet of his later years, Clint sees Hackman as one of the few actors who truly challenged him, not just on screen, but in how seriously he took the craft. Hackman's quiet exit and Clint's reflection. Gene Hackman retired from acting in the early 2000s and disappeared almost entirely from the public eye. For a while, people speculated, why walk away when you're still at the top? But Clint understands it now. He had nothing left to prove, Clint said. He gave everything to the work. I admire that. Clint, in contrast, has continued working well into his 90s, still directing and occasionally acting. Yet, he admits that Hackman's decision has often made him pause. There's a part of me that envies that peace, Clint confessed. He knew when it was time. That takes guts. A legacy etched in stone. As Clint Eastwood reflects on his career, it's clear that his admiration for Gene Hackman goes beyond a single film or a shared award. It's about recognizing greatness when you see it and being humble enough to learn from it. Gene was a force of nature, Clint said. He brought out the best in me on Unforgiven. That film wouldn't be what it is without him. For fans who've long wondered about the relationship between these two titans, the answer is now clear. No flashy friendship, no wild drama, just two masters of their craft, sharing a moment of greatness that will live on in film history. Final thoughts. At 94, Clint Eastwood has nothing left to prove. He's said more with a single squint than most actors say in an entire career. But in speaking out about Gene Hackman, he's shown another side of himself: grateful, thoughtful, and deeply human. In a town built on make-believe, the bond between Clint and Gene was as real as it gets. And now, with time and distance between them, Clint Eastwood is finally ready to say it. Gene Hackman was one of the best I ever worked with. Period.